Hello and welcome to another episode of Tekkit Lite Crash Course. Today we're going to be taking a look at the final piece of the puzzle for our ME production crafting and storage system. Basically there's a way to get our whole system to talk with devices such as macerators, extractors, things like that. The sorts of things you need to make materials out of other materials. So let me see if I got this camera thing down. Yep, pretty much. Alright. So what we're going to do to start, lay down. I think is that our input? Okay, that's the output. Alright, I got it right this time. Because we're going to lay down an HV producer. The HV producer is going to send out some high voltage current because I want to get a lot of power into the devices that's going to be plugging into this thing. You'll see why in a moment. I'm also going to upgrade those devices. That'll be another topic we'll at least gloss over, touch on it a bit. But what we need some cables, which I'm going to need to go over to the ordering system here, not the crafting monitor, that one. So we need some ME cables, not cabes, cables. Going to need a handful of those. We'll take 8. So we got 8 of those. We're also going to need some interfaces, at least one, because the interface, as you saw with my ordering system, okay, so I did make 2 by accident, oh well. And with the interface, not only does it interact with these pipes, it also interacts with said machinery. So, well, first let me get rid of this cable, because we want to upgrade your devices before you go plug them in, or else they will explode. And exploding isn't always a good thing. So let's grab a device here. Say we want, well, a macerator. We've got a few spares because I did tear apart what I had in my basement. Let's see. Wrong bag. I should put one of these chests on every level. Be handy. Say we want our macerator. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Bring that out here. Say place it here. Good enough. A little bit of lag today, but hey, that's fine. On its own, if you run high voltage current into it, it will explode. So if you recall, before we had some upgrades in here, and this side, which made it run faster and also burned a lot of electricity. We're going to do something a little bit different. There's actually another type of upgrade, which will allow it to get more electricity via high voltage. Now, I don't remember exactly. I think it's a transformer upgrade? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Make sure I'm not in cheat mode here. So this will require some MV transformers, electronic circuits, double insulated gold cables, and glass. How do I make this? Okay, it's just a machine block and some double insulated gold cables. Do I have double insulated gold cables? Let's find out. I have single insulated gold cables, so this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to get the ingredients together, and I will be right back. Alright, so once again, I think I got my stuff together, so let's go ahead and start making some things. Now, we only need 2 of these upgrades, because each individual upgrade raises its voltage rating by 1 level. So, to go from low to medium to high, I'll need 2 of these upgrades. So I need 2 of those guys. I think it was either side, circuits below, and then glass all over the rest. 1, 2. Alright. So that gets us our transformers. Let's run these up the steps here, drop them in our macerator. And then our macerator, which as you can see here, I have actually rotated a little bit because stuff has to come in and out of the sides, not the front. I think that's how it works anyway. Regardless, let's go ahead and run this over this way. Bup, 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 and moment of truth. Bup. It's not exploding, and it is charged. Shiny. I'm going to drop all these overclocker upgrades in here because this thing is going to go wicked fast in a few minutes. Now, how do I want to run the cables for this? Let's see. Grab my ME cable. Maybe just off the other interface? Might be a plan. Sure. Alright. So we're going to run the bit of... if I could actually, work stuff here. Excuse me a moment. Just kind of run this guy over here. Actually, I could just place the interfaces side by side, I think. But for now, I'll run some cable this way. Up. Just replace the stuff with cable later. Okay, so that's set up. Let me grab my interface. Drop that guy there. And this doesn't seem to have taken. I blame the lag. So let's head like that. There we go. Alright, the interface is set up now. As you can see, the interface has this little line down here for processing. Basically what you do with this is you use the same assembler patterns used in here, except you manually override what they do. So say I wanted some coal. Let me grab some stuff here. So I say I want some coal. I want to grind it into coal dust. I want a sample of each of those. Let me grab a pattern here as well. Come on. There we go. Grab pattern. Go over here once again to the table. Blank pattern on the left. Coal here. Normally does nothing. You put your coal dust in the output. Now for this recipe, when a coal goes in, it's going to expect a coal dust to come out. Actually encode that. Want that there. Take this over to our assembler. We'll put our assembler pattern down here in processing. Now, it has this one recipe built into it. So anytime coal dust is requested, and I don't have any available, it'll send coal to the macerator, grind it up, and I need to get it back out. It's not going to do that on its own. In order to do that, you need an additional item to go along with it. It's I think it's some kind of bus. It's school bus. No. Import bus. That's the guy. So to make the import bus, you need another interface. You need some cable, iron, and a sticky piston. This stuff I think I might actually have fairly readily available. Let me summon some stuff up here. Grab some iron. I need to make an interface. I have spare cable. What was the other stuff? I don't even remember. Interface, sticky piston. Okay, I need to order that sticky piston then. Sticky piston. Just one. Alright, make myself another interface. No, I have a spare, that's right. So let's grab my stuff, let's go make a thing. Grab that. Spare interface, and spare cable, alright. So just fire up the Power Tools whatchamajigget, cable on top, iron either side, sticky piston, import bus. Now the import bus is designed to draw things out of chests, similar to that other thing I'm thinking about. I think you need, what kind of wrench do you need? Does this wrench? There we go. Yeah, these also respond to the standard Buildcraft wrenches. So if you need to rotate something, you just take a wrench to it, and it goes. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't even remember. But yeah, it's designed to draw items out of an inventory. It has an interface of its own. You can actually tell it, you can activate it via redstone, and you can basically tell it what you want it to pull out. Now in this case, we want it to pull everything out, because anything that goes in here, we're probably going to need for a recipe. So now that that's there, anything that goes in there and gets ground up, possibly any day now. Bueller. I think I have too many overclock upgrades in there. I used to go too fast. I think 8's the limit anyway. Anything that goes in there gets sucked right out, as you saw. It's not there at all. It's actually back in our system. Cool stuff. Now, let's go to our system and say we want to actually access the correct thing. So say we, make a recipe where we need a bunch of coal dust. say, solar panels, which we're probably making in the future. Coal dust you want, you just put in the quantity that you need, and it sends it over to here. And you can see, it just grinds it up. Can we put any more of these in here? Yep. 12. 12 seems to be the limit. We'll leave it at 11 so it doesn't grind. But you can see, with the transformer upgrade, the high voltage cable, and the overclockers, how quickly it's moving now. I seem to be running out of power somewhere. Regardless, well, let's take some of that stuff out. We'll leave it at 8 for now. That should be enough. Or maybe not. I don't actually know. I gotta update my power source. In fact, that's part of why I'm doing this, so I can make enough dust to actually, you know, have enough power to run all this stuff. So while that's just grinding away, I mean, you get the idea of how it works. Now it's going to make a bunch of dust, send it back into the system, and apply to whatever recipes we may need. Get in there. So we don't need this anymore, don't need that anymore. Put some of this stuff away. Don't need that anymore. Anything else I can cover this episode? We're doing pretty good for time. Maybe a few little odds and ends, like the encoder here. Assembler chamber, sorry. If you ever want to see what these patterns are, you can mouse over them, or you just hit shift. Gives you a basically the icon for each individual thing. You see I got my gears back again. Going to be adding some more stuff in there later on. 7 pages. Should be enough for most of my needs. I'm going to get more of this stuff set up, and I'm going to get some crafting going on. Just run out of power? No? Okay. So it's filling back up. So there we go. There's the overclocker upgrades, transformer upgrades, high voltage. Now you do have to be careful with this high voltage cable. Because this stuff's quad insulated, it won't shock you, but the high voltage stuff, if it's uninsulated or under insulated and you're not wearing either the nano boots, the quantum boots, or rubber boots from Industrial Craft, it will shock you and will most likely kill you. Good times. Now I'm wearing the power armor. I don't know if that counts as the same thing, but it seems to work. I'm not going to argue with it. Other topics. What can we cover? Let's maybe just a quick look at some other odds and ends from the mass energy system. Let's see. The cables can actually be dyed. Basically, you take some cable, you surround a piece of dye with it, and it turns into that color cable. Now, these cables, similar to like jacketed wires from Red Power, they won't interact with each other. Like this won't connect to a red cable or a basic cable or anything like that. But they can, I mean, you can actually like set up a second network inside of a first network. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but you can. So why not? What else we got in here? Dark cable. Dark cable's basically, it's a cable with a switch. If you want to cut off a side of a network for some strange reason, you can do that. Just run a redstone signal to this dark cable, which can connect to any color cable, by the way, and it'll cut off that section of network, or turn it back on, either way you wanted to work it. Maybe, say you just wanted to shut down your crafting parts, save power, if you're into that sort of thing. That's an option. ME chests, pre-formatter. I didn't mess with the pre-formatter at all. Basically, what you do with pre-formatter, it works similarly to the pattern provider, the little workbench over here, except instead of, encoding patterns onto things, basically it takes these little storage cells and turns them into filters. They will only take what you put into the pre-formatter. The I/O port, I think, is only for interacting between two separate ME systems. I'm not sure why you'd need that. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of stuff with this stuff. I'm just sticking to the practical things. This, not very practical from my point of view. Let's see. What else? I suppose we could take a look at the list. We actually haven't done that in a while. Let me pull that up. I'll just be a moment. Alright, so there's the list. Hopefully you guys can read it all right. I had to make some adjustments to the size of the thing. Let's see. We have actually done, well, I've glossed over at least all of these. Let's see. Transformers, went over those. Energy storage upgrade, we did do transformer. Energy storage, I'm going to do that real quick, just to show you exactly what that's all about. It's similar to the transformer and overclocker upgrades, except it improves, well, the device's energy storage. So let's see, energy, where is it? There it is. Alright, so energy storage upgrade, it's a bunch of wood, battery, circuits, cables. I think I have that stuff. Wood planks, circuit, battery in the middle. These guys are on the outside. Energy storage upgrade. The energy storage upgrade, when you put this into a device, increases basically how much is represented by this little lightning bolt thing here. Put a bunch of these guys in here, and this won't grind as often. It'll actually go down a lot more slowly. So I'm going to fill this guy with these. Next chance I get, I'm going to check it off my list. Energy storage. Cool stuff. Alright, react chamber, miner. I don't think we've done a miner yet. Geothermonuclear, nope. Induction furnace, no. Mass fabricator, no. I do want to do this soon, because it is a good way to get some vanilla items for essentially free without having to go out and farm them. Chromatron, no. Illuminator, we did do. Electrolyzer, no, I don't believe. Magnetizer, nope. Teleporter, terraformer, so none of that stuff yet. We've basically gone over cables. I mean, you get the idea. They carry charge. If you plug a lesser cable into a higher voltage, they explode, etc., etc. Detector, not so much. Splitter, nope. Electrolyze, nope. Lapotron crystals, I did briefly go over. Basically the same thing as the energy crystal, except much higher capacity and not as compatible with some of the earlier stuff. Still haven't made quantum armor either. Might want to do that soon. UU matter has to do with the mass fab. No rubber trampolines yet, so you're going to make a bunch of rubber for that. Let's see, room for stone door glass. Did that stuff, actually. Check that off the list. Scaffolds and iron scaffolds, cool stuff. Fuel cans, not so much. Did I do those? Sort of, not really. Did I? Yeah, sure, why not? Then I have sticky dynamite, industrial TNT, went over that stuff. Haven't gone into any great depth with the industrial stuff, but basically it's just more precise blast than the standard TNT. ODOV, no. Dynamite, nope. Nope. Cutter, EU, nope. Painter we did. That was kind of fun. Let's see, haven't done anything nuclear yet. Skip right over that. Electric devices, I was looking at it, there aren't really very many of these. I mean, the only ones that are worthwhile are really the furnace and the alloy furnace. So, don't even bother. Bundled cables, not yet. Let's see, gates, haven't done all the gates. Haven't done this sonic screwdriver. It's basically the same as a regular screwdriver, has the same functions, you know, rotates machines and gates and things like that. It's just rechargeable. So instead of breaking over time, you can charge it up again with a blue electric battery. Support frames, frame motors. Haven't done frames yet. Haven't lit the village yet either. Haven't done a sickle. Wow, I'm really behind on that. Haven't done fluid pipe. Fluid pipes are weird. Different from waterproof pipes. I'll go over those eventually. I don't even know if these are in the game anymore. This has been replaced by Stirling engines. That's going to get crossed out. Combustion haven't touched. Magmatic we've done. That's always fun. This should really be thermal expansion. Refinery, no. Builders are broken. Incinerators, nope. Incinerator basically just eliminates stuff. Fuel, no. Let's see, not a whole lot of that. This stuff isn't even in the game yet. I don't know why it's not crossed out. Haven't done a lot, actually, before they've done any factorization. It's going to be one of my next steps because I want to make the wrath lamps. They're really cool. Thermal expansion. Let's see. Haven't worked with the steam engine yet from thermal expansion, or any of the machinery. That's probably going to be part of this whole assembly once everything's set up and ready to go. Sawdust, Tesseracts. Tesseracts I do want to play with, though, because Tesseracts work similarly to phased energy pipes. Phased redstone pipes? What are the conductive pipes? That's the one. Except they don't explode, which would be nice. Applied Energistics, we did that, did the drive, did the pattern coder. Haven't done wireless yet. Maybe if I got a few minutes before the end of the episode, we'll squeeze that in. Access terminal, yep. Chest, interface. Preformatter I went over. I'm not going to be using one, so I don't care. Crafting terminal, yes. CPU, heat vent, containment wall. Storage bus I didn't do. Storage bus, similar to the input bus, except that it outputs specific items to a chest or other storage unit. So, yeah, that's good enough. I/O port, went over that, I'm not going to use it. Crafting monitor. Yeah, we did that. Storage monitor. ME storage. Level emitters we didn't do. I didn't even touch on that. Basically how that works, you can program it so that it puts out a redstone signal when a certain set of criteria is met. Like, say you have too many of a specific item in your inventory. You can set the emitter to tell a device to stop, say, farming blocks from a cobblestone generator, something like that. You can tell it to stop grabbing cobblestone from it. I'll probably make one of those later on. I'll leave it checked, I don't care. Mistcraft haven't done yet. I think that's going to be another thing to do soon. Mine Factory. A lot of the stuff is really fun. I haven't touched it yet, though, so we'll get to that, don't worry. Still haven't made a trading dummy. Probably find one of those in the background somewhere. No Steve's carts at all. No wireless redstone. Haven't made automatic crafting Mark II or any of this other stuff yet. On the tools, nope. Colored glass we did touch on, so that's another one I can check off. So that is the list, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it awesome? Get rid of that. Back to this. What was I going to do again? Wireless, yes. So, for the ME wireless access thingamabob, two parts, access terminal and access point. The access point needs a wireless receiver, some iron ingots. How do you make this thing? Need an ender pearl, quartz fiber, and some iron. I think I have some spare quartz fiber. Excuse me a moment. Alright, so we got ender pearls and quartz fibers. We're going to need two of these guys. 1, 2. I also need a conversion matrix for the access terminal. I need an access terminal. So I'll whip one of those guys up. That there. Iron. And a bit of glass. So we got our access terminal. That'll go with that. And then the other part of this, just some iron and cable. So cable. That. How is it laid out again? Glass, 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 iron, iron. Glass, glass, glass. And iron. And there we go. One wireless access point, and put that there. One access terminal. So we're going to take the access point, we're going to take it upstairs, put it on the network. If I can remember how to get upstairs. Usually involves stairs. Whee! Alright. Just going to plunk this guy anywhere on the network. Right there is good. And on its own, it doesn't do a whole lot until you take this little guy. Take this little guy, put it in here. And put it. And put it. Right click. What am I missing? There we go. Okay, so you have to hold shift, then right click. And it pairs it to this particular network for the access terminal. No signal, no signal, no signal. Okay, why no signal? Why so serious? Okay, clearly I'm missing something. Give me a moment while I look that up. Okay, so according to AE's own wiki, I need the controller. Plug in. Oh, my lag would actually let me, access it. There we go. Okay, now it's linked. So you take your access terminal, you plunk it into the little thing on the side here, and then it connects. So now it's linked. Now it's basically a portable access terminal. Now the range is a bit limited. It only goes up to 32 blocks by default. But there are certain upgrades, which I don't remember what they're called. Let's see. Mouse access point. Booster. Alright. This little guy, just iron, quartz, and redstone, gives you a wireless booster. Now these are probably what you stick into that thing, which will increase the range. Let's go ahead and whip some of those guys up. Alright, so I got 64 of the things. Let's see what they do. Okay, up to 16 can be put in there. I don't know how much each one. There. Gives it a 2-block range boost for each one of these guys. So now it's twice as far. I can go out 64 blocks with my wireless access terminal, and I can use that to craft wirelessly any of the stuff I need, which I can then order with my remote orderer. It's a bit kludgy, but hey, it gets the job done, you know? Can't have everything. Let's see, can I take stuff out of there directly? Oh, yes I can. Sweet, I don't even need this guy. Unless I'm, you know, going for a wander. So there we go. Wireless. Processing. And some other stuff. Upgrades and things and whatchamajiggets. I call that an episode. Oh, and just to let you know, I don't know if I actually went over this. You can actually put more than one recipe in here. So this whole thing can be filled with these assembler patterns. So that up to 9 different maceration recipes can be put in here. And anytime you need something macerated, if it's one of those recipes, it'll go to this specific macerator and be sent back into the system. Good stuff. Alright, I'll talk to everyone later. Have a nice evening. Like, favorite if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me why. Please, don't just thumbs down. Have a nice evening.